We've had another disputed election. Observer missions have voiced their concerns. How do you see this process? How should this process play itself out?
Well, I really don't know. This time I have not been very close to these Zimbabwe processes, but as far as I knew, after the SADC observers had made their comments, virtually saying, as far as we are concerned, these elections were not representative of popular opinion, and submitted their report to the chair of the SADC organ, President Emmerson of Zambia. I don't know what happened after that. Because I would presume that then the SADC organ would have had to study the report and make a decision or suggestion as to what is to be done. I mean, you remember when after the 2008 elections, which were very disputed, and then the second round of the presidential elections marked by a lot of violence. After that, the Zimbabwe parties agreed that really the only way to respond to this reality is that they must come together into a government of national unity. It was a response to what had happened in the elections. Well, as I said, that I was very directly involved in those particular processes. I've not been now in terms of Zimbabwe, so I can't say this is what I think should happen. But I'm saying in 2008, when the Zimbabweans themselves could see that the elections had not produced a winner, the best thing to do, let's get together as Zimbabweans for 5 years and see what we can do together. That kind of approach, I think, if one says, I'm a leader of the people of South Africa, what must inspire you is not my personal position as ANC president or president of the Republic. When I had to leave in 2008, it was to say what would be in the best interest of the country.
Right. The
decision of the ANC was wrong. To say I must leave, I knew that, and I said so publicly. They based themselves on a wrong opinion expressed by a judge in a court, and the Supreme Court of Appeal rebuked the judge and said he never should have never said things like that. I knew that. But in the interest of what happens to South Africa, I thought it was best that to say, let's go along with this wrong decision. Because not to have said no, to say I'm not going, would have created an enormous crisis. I'm just saying that I think people are holding political positions. I lead the people of South Africa. I must act as a leader, same as the leaders of the people of Zimbabwe. What is in the best interest of Zimbabwe in a situation of this kind? That's how I would have approached the matter.
So, final question for you, Mr. President. Despite the negative tenor around some of the challenges that South Africa faces, some of the bright sparks tend to happen on the sports field. You will remember in 2007, you were hoisted, I believe, by the Springbok team after winning the 2007 World Cup. There's another opportunity again in France under Siya Kolisi that the Springboks could again do this. They have a big game against Ireland. Mbeki Magic back in France, might that help them lift this trophy again? Your thoughts?
Yes, you are right. I mean, we're back in France, and the Springboks won the World Cup in France. And I don't think there's any particular reason why they shouldn't do the same. I have a lot of confidence in the Springbok, this particular team, including its captain, including its coach, and I really do think that they can do very well and retain the World Cup. The fact that they've come back to France should itself serve as inspiration, because in the final in France in 2007, which was final
of September 2023. Remember to like, share, comment, and follow, and turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss any of our new uploads that we do upload here. Former South African President Thabo Mbeki has said President Emmerson Mnangagwa should do what is in the best interest of Zimbabweans in order to move the country forward after the disputed 2023 harmonized elections. Speaking to the SABC in New York, US, where he is attending meetings at the United Nations, Mbeki intimated that leaders should consider what is best for the nation first before their personal interest. While he did not offer a solution to Zimbabwe's political problems, Mbeki appeared to suggest that a power-sharing government like the one he broke in 2009 could resolve the country's political impasse. When the Zimbabweans could see that the elections had not produced a winner, they decided, let's gather together as Zimbabweans for 5 years and see what we can do together. What must inspire you is not to say, I'm a leader of the people of South Africa or ANC president, but to say what would be in the best interest of the country. People are holding onto political positions. What's in the best interest of Zimbabweans in a situation of this kind? Mbeki said when he was removed as ANC president, he could have put up resistance, but in the end decided to go along with the wrong decision. Mbeki stepped down in 2009 soon after he facilitated a power-sharing agreement between ZANU-PF and MDC-T. His resignation was triggered by the ruling of a judge who said he and others in his government were involved in a political conspiracy. Charged his then deputy Jacob Zuma. Mbeki said, in the interest of what happens in South Africa, I thought it was best to say, let's go along with this wrong decision, because to have said no, to say I'm not going, would have created an enormous crisis. Mbeki, who in April 2008 shocked many people when he said there was no crisis in Zimbabwe, told SABC in the interview that was aired on Thursday that SADC Troika chairman Hakainde Hichilema, the Zambian president, still needs to make a decision on the report of the SADC Election Observer Mission SEOM. The SEOM preliminary report said the elections do not meet regional and international standards on democratic elections. Mbeki said, I have not been very close to the Zimbabwe election process, but as far as I know, after the SADC observers had made their comments virtually, saying as far as they are concerned, the elections were not representative of popular opinion, and submitted their report to the chairman of the SADC organ, President Hichilema of Zambia. I don't know what happened after that. I would presume that then the SADC organ would have had to study the report and make a decision or suggest what is to be done. After the 2008 elections, which were very disputed, and then the second round of the presidential elections was marked by a lot of violence, the Zimbabwe parties agreed that the only way to respond to this reality is that we must come together in a government of national unity. It was a response to what had happened during the elections. Mnangagwa was declared the winner of the August 23 presidential race with 52.6% of the vote, while his closest challenger, Nelson Chamisa, polled 44%, according to the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. And so we're going to be keeping you guys up to date with the latest here. Is I do agree with him 100% that President Hakainde Hichilema still needs to make a decision on the report of the SADC Election Observer Mission sooner or later. It's a process, so we'll be keeping you guys up to date with the latest on weekly news roundup on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Remember to like, share, comment and follow, and turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss any of our new uploads that we do upload here. Please, sir.